Yo, Steel Mills, what's the dizzle, man? Yo, and the whole Iowa, where I pronounce that shit. But peep game though, man. I want to talk about motherfucking my bad. Like I said before, man, as long as you are on social media, you always gonna have something to talk about, right? I'm on these forums on Facebook, these pages on Facebook, and you know, Bud's pay-per-view numbers are in 190,000 views or whatever, and Spence fans abroad are kind of like overjoyed about that. Overjoyed about 190 pay-per-view buys, because now, you know, that's another excuse as to why Spence shouldn't fight Bud, or Bud should bow down to Spence if they do decide to fight. This pay-per-view numbers make and break every goddamn thing. It's just the first off, I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this. There's no other pay-per-view megastar that's active right now outside of Canelo Alvarez. For Canelo to do 800,000 pay-per-view buys in an era where streaming is at an all-time high, that is an incredible feat right there. If we didn't have all these streaming platforms and shit, that's easily 1.5 million pay-per-views for that Caleb Plant fight a couple of weeks ago. So nobody should be in a position of where they talking like they feeling themselves and they got their nose turned up at any other fighter because they not doing as much numbers as me. Spence is doing 200K, like 200 and change. It would be a different story if, you know, he had, you know, at least 100,000 over Bud. You feel me? Like for you to be feeling yourself like this, or for his fans to be feeling themselves like this, you would expect him to have, you know, be sitting on 300, 400K. But you don't get to pat yourself on the back off 2 and change, my nigga. You don't. As much as you're promoted, you're supposed to be the face of that stable. Earl Spence and Tank Davis. And they not doing drag out numbers like that. So how dare you sit here and turn your nose up at a nigga? All right. I thought I got off on the wrong exit. I had to look at my GPS. So how dare you sit there and turn your nose up at a nigga like you better, oh, I'm better than you. You not me. Look at my look at our numbers. Our numbers is different. Yeah, they are different. You're slightly better, slightly. This ain't even a Manny and Floyd type of situation. If Floyd would do 900,000, Manny would do 700,000. Which, all right, cool. Floyd was the A side in that regard. You dig? And we were talking 100, you know, 100 plus more, you know, by a difference between the two of them. But Spence ain't doing numbers like that to the point where y'all niggas can be making that nigga feel himself like that. That shit is ridiculous. Like, and y'all niggas are really, I can't believe that niggas would really sit there and push that shit. I'm seeing people, oh man, 70-30, you 70-30, 70-30, 70-30. And niggas was, you know, echoing that 80-20 bullshit. I'm not, like, I was never mad at 60-40, man. I was like, man, just go ahead and take that. Do what B-Hop did with Trinidad, crash this nigga. And now you move into his spot. And if he wants a rematch, give him a rematch. Now your ass is at the financial disadvantage. 70-30 for you, 60-40 for you. So I didn't mind that deal, man. Like I was saying that at first, like I think he should take it. But then after you sit back and you listen to these niggas argue, and I'm like, all right, bro, like this shit is just getting a little bit ridiculous. Because it's not even being spoken from a place of objectivity. I feel like I was being objective. I feel like I was being objective in the situation. I'm a Nebraskan. I'm saying, fam, I think you should take that. I think you should take that. Go ahead and take it, because I'm like, you're gonna win the match. You're gonna win. Go on ahead and take that. And you raise your profile where you be. Now the same motherfuckers who was hollering his name, he being wheeled out at football and baseball games. And so the same motherfuckers who know him, now they inadvertently know you because you crashed that nigga. I thought he should have took it, man. But and I felt I was being objective, man. I really did. I really did. But with these cats today, man, it's just narratives that they run with. It's the pay-per-view. But I mean, now granted, that plays a role in it. I mean, I even remember when Floyd was talking that shit to me about Manny, his numbers is low. And I'm arguing with niggas who are repeating it. His numbers are low. He broke. How's a $100 million man broke? Like, what the fuck is you niggas talking about? You dig? Like, sometimes you just gotta learn how to think for your goddamn self. And stop listening to all these dumbass narratives being tossed around in the media. It's ridiculous, man. When you get to talking about 70-30, 60-40 is still a bit, I would say 55-45 is shine like that. But when you say 70-30 to a three division world champion, a former undisputed world champion, that is a slap in the face. That is a slap in the face. And it's a form of ducking. It's a form of ducking. Like, Spence fans to this day do not want, they hate talking about what transpired in Oklahoma a couple of years back. They hate talking about that. It's like they refuse to acknowledge it. They refuse. You remember Freddie versus Jason? Was it Freddie versus Jason? I think it was Freddie versus Jason. Freddie wasn't powerful to fuck with Jason at a point in time. So they just, and the reason he wasn't as powerful because the town made, we're gonna give y'all this drug or whatever to make y'all forget about this man's name. We're gonna give you these pills so you can't fall asleep. We're gonna do that. We don't say his name around here. That's what them niggas was doing. They don't say his name. They don't say his name. They don't, like, that shit corny, bro. That shit corny. We ain't, Bud is saying, y'all ain't say Terrence, huh? Y'all ain't say nothing about Terrence. Y'all ain't say nothing about Terrence. Y'all don't want to do that, huh? Y'all don't want to fight Terrence. Leave Terrence alone. That shit is lame, bro. Like, he said take the easy route. He said that. Let me take the easy route. Why not take the easy route? He said that. They will they'll swerve that fact right there as much as they possibly can. They'll go around that, go out of their way to get around that fact or that talking point that he said in that meeting, so they don't have to address it. And it's like, bro, you can't ignore it though. And I've seen people literally try to justify, or not justify, but contextualize and unpack it in a more digestible way that's easier for them to cope with. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. Because he said, let me go fight them. Why not take the easy route and go and fight them? I spoke on it before. The easy route was actually I'm not mad at the easy route because of the level of opposition that he went through. So it's good and bad that came with that easy route. But it is, in fact, the easy route. And Bud has proven that it was the easy route. He's proven it. His easy route enhanced his profile a little bit more so than Bud's at welterweight. So the end did justify the means, but nonetheless, he did swerve Bud. And these Spence fans can't even be objective about it. They can't. They can't even be objective about it, man. They all, you ain't 60, 40, all this dumb shit. It's like, no, bro, that's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. He's wrong for that. You can pricing yourself out is a form of ducking. You can talk all that bullshit that you want. You can do do all that barking, all that tough guy. You can do all that shit. Pricing yourself out is a form of ducking. And Spence up until this point has priced himself out. Tell Bob he know what that number is. What exactly is the number? What's the number? They play these little games, man, these semantics to, you know, to cover their tracks. So you can't say it's ducking. My kids don't eat off no belt. Y'all gonna make me say 80-20. Shit like that. Shit like that. And none of y'all niggas want to acknowledge the shit, man. The point is this. Spence is not at no incredibly high level as far as stature goes to command some shit like that. To walk around with his nose in the air at everybody like, nah, man, you're not on my level. I'm better than you. I do more numbers than you. He does, slightly. He does. But slightly. We're not talking about 100,000, a 100,000 difference in pay-per-view buys. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We talking about maybe 50,000, if that, maybe. Cause I think he did 250 with Sean Porter. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know the numbers he did for Danny Garcia. Mikey was a lot of that shit was predicated on the Mexican fan base. So you're not in a position to sit here and talk that bullshit and walk around with your chest out like you better than somebody. Nah, fam, that's not how this goes. You not him. I remember just not too long ago, niggas was talking about he's eclipsed Canelo as the pay-per-view king. Because Canelo's his fights was being streamed on, or his fights was on the DAZN app. So all you had to do was pay $20 to get a month subscription of DAZN, and you would have had the Canelo Alvarez fight. But they did give you the option to buy it on pay-per-view, and they completely ran with that. And Errol Spence had I think was that the month after the Errol? He fought December. Errol fought in November last year. Yeah. So when the numbers came in, them niggas was overjoyed. Oh, he killing Canelo. Alright, my nigga. Like, y'all just say anything. Fast forward just to a couple of weeks ago, Canelo does 800,000. So you Spence fans are just delusional when it comes to this shit. And y'all keep going out of y'all way to make sure that Spence doesn't have to sully his legacy by fighting a Chance Crawford, because he's going to get beat. Y'all keep doing that, and it's corny. It's corny as fuck. And it'd be funny if Errol Spence actually does have to fuck around and go fight Keith Thurman. That would be funny. That would actually be hysterical if that shit ended up happening. Because it's looking like it just might so happen. But I don't know. That's neither here nor there, man. The point is this, man. Stop with all that bullshit. Oh, 70-30. Bud he only did 190,000. All that dumb shit, man. All that dumb shit. What does that matter? They're the two best welterweights in the division. Why shouldn't they? He shouldn't fight Bud because Bud did 40,000 less buys than him? What the fuck is wrong with y'all niggas, man? What is wrong with y'all? You dudes are some weirdos, bro. Y'all some dead weirdos. Weirdos. Fuck is you gonna sit here and talk that dumb? Like, it's just stupid listening to y'all, man. Like, my head be hurting. Like, you can't be this stupid. I refuse to believe you this dumb. You can be a little dumb, but not this dumb. But y'all niggas be this dumb. And it's just a whole lot of cock gobbling, man. It's a whole lot of that, bro. Y'all niggas be throwing these niggas, bro. Anything for Spence not to fight Bud. anything. Y'all talk all that bullshit. Oh, he gonna break Bud. He gonna stop Bud. Oh man, he get hit too much. Alright, cool. Well, let's put them niggas in the scenario to where he can break and stop and hit that nigga too much. But y'all don't want to do that because Bud only did 190,000 pay-per-view buys, and Earl Spence may have did 250,000, which isn't even a 100,000 buy difference between the two of them. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. I hate you niggas, man. If you don't want Spence to fight Bud, just say that. If Spence don't want to fight Bud, he should just say that. It's easier. Just say that, man. Man, just say that. Yeah, you shook. Take the Golovkin route that he did with Andre Ward. Nah, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that. I think it'd be dope. All right, cool. You know the real. But don't sit here and do all that capping on behalf of this nigga, bro. Don't sit here and do all that capping on behalf of this nigga. And talk about some pay-per-view buys when that nigga isn't even, he's not that nigga, bro. He's not no household name like y'all think he is. None of the PPC niggas are. None of these niggas who are fighting on pay-per-view are except Canelo Alvarez. It's as simple as that. And even with him, he ain't got the right to turn his nose up at somebody like, man, I don't like as funny as I thought it was with him and Andre, I don't like that shit. Because I think he should fight Andre. I think Andre has the skill set that I think he hurts Andre that stops him. Nah, he's not gonna. Andre don't want none of that. But he should fight him. He should most definitely fight him. So I don't agree with Canelo turning his nose up and I'm good. I don't agree with that. Even though I understand it, you know, you ain't fought nobody, and a lot of it is Andre's own fault. A lot of it is his own fault, pulling out with Jermell Charlo, talking about Laura's boring, just for Canelo to turn around and say that same shit to you. You don't get denigrated for saying Laura was boring. Nobody who all of a sudden came into the sport of boxing says that about Andre, saying that about Laura. They don't denigrate Andre for what he said to Laura, but they denigrate Canelo for saying it to Andre. A lot of Andre, you know, a lot of the Andre's career is his fault. Where he's at in his career now, a lot of that shit the fault lies right at his feet. Nonetheless, he's a quality opponent, and I think Canelo should fight him. So if I feel like Canelo should fight him, if I feel like Canelo should fight Charlo on Cinco de Mayo instead of Makabu, who the fuck is Earl Spence to sit here and say you ain't worth my time? You 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, with the likes of Terrence Crawford. Nobody is exempt from fighting the best. And me personally, I don't think Charlo is the best. But he's a reputable middleweight. And that's what the fans are clamoring for. So I think he should fight him. The fans are clamoring for Spence and Crawford. Before Crawford was even a fucking welterweight, they had already passed up Thurman in the sense of like, we don't want to, you know, you're good. You're a good fighter, but the fight to make right now, because these cats are better than you, which I don't agree with as far as Spence is concerned. I've always thought Thurman could beat Spence. But Spence came out of the Olympics. He had the machine behind him, so they was, you know, they're pushing him. And a lot of people are just gonna immature, you know, they're just going to speak on shit because they're not necessarily knowledgeable on what it is they speaking on. So they hear Spence's name in the media being pushed. All right, cool. Well, let's go with Spence. We don't know who Keith Thurman is, so we'll go with Spence. We'll go with Spence. And Crawford coming over where the push he's getting is due to us here in Omaha. You dig? So before he was even a welterweight, that was the general consensus. We want to see Spence versus Crawford. And it's been like that for well over 5 years. It's been like that for well over 5 years, and the PBC niggas is playing games because they don't want to risk putting a prize fighter out there with a credible, imminent threat that isn't in-house. So for all you cocksocket ass niggas, get out of here, dog. Like that shit is lame. That shit is lame, man. Stop all this 70-30, 80-20. Stop all that bullshit, man. Bud is far more accomplished than Earl Spence. Earl Spence he's more accomplished as a welterweight. But as it stands right now, Spence is a career welterweight. Bud has been through 2 different divisions before he came to 147. And all of his fights have ended in stoppages at that division. You're talking 6 straight fights. 2 of them being common opponents for fucking Earl Spence. Don't talk that bullshit to me, man. I don't want to hear it. Any nigga talking that bull, I'm convinced you want to have that nigga's baby. I'm more than convinced. All you dudes talking that 70-30, man. Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Tired of you PBC fanboy shield ass niggas, man. This fight has been brewing for too long. Y'all could have had 2 and 3 fights out of the way and potentially turned this into a trilogy. A classic. But y'all just want to wait and sit on y'all hands and let a fight marinate until it's at a fever pitch and y'all get 1 fight of the ordeal when y'all could be consistently building this shit up into something that's going to stand the test of time. Y'all not willing to do that because y'all just it's money with y'all as opposed to just legacy. That's why a nigga like Spence can sit there and talk that 80-20 shit. That's why he can sit there and talk 60-40, 70-30. And y'all cool with that. Y'all cool with him talking about money of his that y'all not gonna see as his fans. Y'all's money is going in that nigga's pocket, you dumbass niggas. Y'all pay for that man's pay-per-views. Y'all go and buy tickets to his fights. That money is going to him. That money is going to him. I ain't never seen somebody be so happy to bragging on the nigga that you bragging on the nigga's money. You paying this nigga. What kind of pimp up, hold down bullshit is that? You bragging about your money going into his pocket. You niggas is some busters, dog. Like I can't fuck with you dudes. Y'all some weirdos to me, man. Facts.